Well, actually, we're going to have Ron Schweiger and Assemblyman I can say. Ron is a member of our board. He's a Brooklyn historian, and you'll find out everything about. Actually, we know from what was said before all about it.
As the historian of Brooklyn, Borough Park is a very historic community. As an Orthodox Jew, how and why did you get involved in politics?
Sure. First off, let me just take a minute to thank the Brooklyn Jewish Historical Initiative. We're a very diverse community, yet what connects us all is our faith. And you highlight our traditions and our culture, so thank you for all you do, and particularly to the board of the Hall of Fame. It's an honor for me to be here as a huge sports fan. Anything with the word Hall of Fame just gives me chills. I thought I'll be trading in this jacket for a gold jacket today, so, but seriously, thank you. It's an honor for me to be here. Borough Park is an historic community, and it's an honor for me to represent this community. You know, there are many reasons why someone is in elected office, in government, in politics. Those that get involved because they want to run for office one day. There are many reasons to get involved, but I wasn't one of them. To be honest with you, running for office was never on my bingo chart. In fact, I know it's going to sound a little weird now, but I am naturally a very shy person. But at first it was a huge adjustment for me. I mean, I was working in government for a long time, but I was always the behind the scenes person. I was never on stage. I never had the camera on me. And when my predecessor announced his retirement, I still wasn't sure that I actually wanted to do it. But the opportunity to represent your community and help people was one that really, that's the real reason why I've been doing this. And there are many components to the job. Obviously, I'm a legislator, so our job is to legislate, to be in Albany, vote on bills, pass the budget. But the constituent services portion of the job, which I take more pleasure in, if I may say, than passing bills, serving the community, my office is located on 13th Avenue. Obviously, you know the place.
A major commercial street.
It's our mini Times Square, if I may. Sitting in my office, have all constituents walk in, and for us to be there as a resource and be able to help them, that is one that's really the reason. That's what keeps me motivated. It's tough. It's tough being in Albany all week, away from your family. But when you walk down the street and some random person stops you and says, just 10 seconds of your time, I want to thank you, your office helped me. And that's really what I feel fulfilled with that.
Well, as an assemblyman and an elected official, very often there are things that you want to have done, and sometimes you run into a stone wall with who you want to contact. I understand there was something that the sanitation department had been doing and changed the ruling of putting out the garbage cans in the evening. Mm-hmm. And in this case, it was on a Friday.
Yes.
And how was that happening in your community, in this Orthodox community?
It's funny you raise that because I actually just received a text sitting here that I need to call our program and council people in Albany. I just passed this bill this year. The governor has yet to sign it. I believe she will. But we're talking about possible amendments, and for those that understand the process, it needs to be delivered by December 31st. I'm not going to bore you with how the legislative process works, but we're actually having conversations about this as we speak. These are one of the quality of life issues within the community. They're the larger bills, and then there's the constituent services, and then you have the quality of life type of bills.
What accomplishments, basically, that you think that you've really accomplished that really resonates?
Well, I will say my biggest accomplishment of my career would be this past year when we included in the budget the language on yeshiva education, which could be an interview in itself for hours. But that was one that made its way into the budget this past year, giving private schools, religious schools their independence, yet ensuring that they, at least at a minimum, meet standards in providing a sound basic English education. And that's one that I'm very proud of and was an issue from the minute I got there. I worked very hard on that and we were able to get it included in the budget this past year. So that would be my biggest accomplishment legislatively. But then there's the smaller bills, as you just said. I want to refer to it as a smaller bill, the quality of life bills. If in New York City they can't understand that in certain areas, Shabbat this week starts, I think, 4:16. So we're one New York, and we respect all different cultures and religions. And if it doesn't work for a particular community, a regulation on a Friday afternoon, we should be able to accommodate that as a city. So,
Well, it seems that you've accomplished a lot, and it's an important position to be in. And congratulations on being honored.
thank you for having me, and Howard, thank you for reminding me that I'm from the younger ages.
But I want to add one thing, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. Aren't you the first or the highest ranking Hasid in elected office or something like that?
My response to that was, I may be the first, but I know I won't be the last. And just a couple of years later, we were already joined by, there's another Hasidic individual now elected to the State Assembly. So we've expanded our, if I may refer to it, Aaron Weeder from Rockland, and we have other, from electeds that recently joined, Kalma Yeager and Sam Berger. So we have, if I may refer to it as a little caucus, it's not an official caucus, don't tweet that, but we have our little group, and it's just a pleasure serving with all of them. But to that point, it's a great responsibility. So yes, it's an honor, but...
Are you sure that you were shy at one time?
No, but in all seriousness, there are people that they will look at you and they will paint a picture of an entire community. Fair or not, right or wrong, that's just how it is. And the responsibility is on me to the way I conduct myself to make a true Kiddush Hashem. And that comes before any vote I take, before any speech I give. Just the way, there are people that I may be the first Hasidic individual that they interact with. This is a very, very large state. Obviously, we're all here in Brooklyn and New York City, but I would have, community leaders, elected officials from upstate New York, they don't have this relationship with the Jewish community, let alone the Orthodox Jewish community, and they would ask questions about, and it does not come from a bad place. It really doesn't. And sometimes we need to be careful. I recently said in an interview, and I know my time is up, but I recently said in an interview, they asked me, what was the one thing that you weren't prepared for in office? By the way, a politician never gives up his mic, just so you know. But what was the one thing that you weren't prepared for? And, it's a tough question. I'm not sure how to answer that. I thought a second. I said, I always knew I'm going to have to know when to speak up. But what I did not know is, equally as important, perhaps even more important, is when not to speak up. And it sounds very cliché, but it's very, very true. Sometimes we cancel people based on one comment that they made. It comes from ignorance or whatever it may be. And engaging with people that are very far removed from our community, our way of life. They really don't understand it. But then when you sit down and you talk to them and they start realizing the beauty of the community, of the cultures, so anyway, I know my time is up, but I want to thank you all, Rita, Howard, everyone. Thank you for having me. This is a great honor. I don't have many awards and plaques in my office hanging on the wall or on my desk, but the word Hall of Fame, this one's sitting on my desk. So